listening to the Beer Craft Homebrewing Podcast. Tune in every Wednesday night at 6:30 Pacific for a dose of beer and brewing banter with your hosts, Ben Holm and Andrew Ziegler.
So hop aboard for a little wit and wisdom in the Pacific Northwest, because it's always Beer 30 on
I can hear
the
it.
Beer Craft.
So, we had a guest tonight.
We did? Had.
Past tense.
We did.
Yep. So that kind of didn't work, which means you're going to get something better, right?
What, lower expectations now?
Right. Yeah, like no prep, real talk. Probably
It's
at
gonna
least
be just us.
At least one bad idea.
So a
thrown
normal
in there.
episode, right?
Pretty much. Yep.
Okay. No big deal.
Yeah, tonight
We got this.
We can talk about some beer myths tonight.
right.
The stuff that refuses to die,
Never go away. The stuff people say with confidence.
and they usually learn from that guy who learned it from that other guy who drives that car. He goes to a different school. You don't know him
And he brewed once in, 2003?
if you're lucky, and they won't let it go.
Okay.
You know what? You know what? This feels. It feels like it's gonna be a good time.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
You know what time it is, though.
You know what time it is.
It's Beer 30. So before we crack open some myths, we got to crack open a cold one. And I brought something straight from the cellar. We've got here.
Did you bring us, Ben?
It is a Fremont barrel-aged Dark Star limited release from drum rolls 2021.
2021.
So it's got some age on it.
So
You got the beer
it's a
opener.
five-year-old.
You're closer, and you're better at pouring.
I can pour.
Today.
I see you already prepped the
I did.
wax.
I peeled the wax cap back just to make our lives a little bit easier.
A little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
You can't chew through that shit either.
No, you got a bomber, and this thing is dark. This is a dark bomber.
Have you ever waxed a bottle?
Never.
Don't. It's like a candle. You got to sit there and do a lot of layers.
A lot of layers.
Yeah. It's not great. But it does look cool in the bottle. Oh Jesus, I can smell that one across the room. That is a hit of chocolatey deliciousness for sure. Good damn. Thick, inky beer. Prost, man. This is looking good.
Prost. Gotta smell it first.
That passes the smell test.
Oh, it smells so
Yeah.
good.
And this is at cellar temp because I didn't chill it.
Thick. Dark. So good.
Yeah, that's got
it
it's
doesn't
kind of
even
a
leave my
jammy.
mouth.
It's got like a jammy thickness.
Yeah.
Very, very palate coating.
I mean, I'm surprised I swallowed any.
Well, you had to because it was so good. You almost while it was in your mouth, you almost gasped for air in surprise.
Right, it went down my lungs.
That would have been a
filled my
bad
lungs.
day.
I would have died over a beer, which was actually the proper way to die.
If you gotta go,
If you gotta go.
gotta go.
That's right. That's right. So how'd you come across this? Or has this been in your?
This has been
your
in my
stash?
cellar for a bit. I picked up that bottle in Astoria at the Bridge and Tunnel Bottle Shop.
Yeah.
The owner and operator, I cannot remember his name, but he goes by the Beer King.
The Beer King. That sounds cool.
Yeah, and he's got stickers. Somebody drew his face with a crown on it.
Yeah.
He's guy's about my age, and about your age maybe. Long gray beard, and he'll sit and jar about beer just like we will. I'm gonna try to get him on this show.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It'd be freaking cool.
Yeah,
dude.
he'd have to make a trip up to the valley from
Yeah,
Astoria.
that would be, or we go down there. That's fine too.
yeah,
Yeah, the
we can
Bridge
go
and Tunnel
mobile.
Bottle Shop is in Astoria is worth the damn drive. Astoria is a cool little beer town. If you've never been to Astoria, go now.
Well, they
Go
have
now.
the,
You can listen to the show on the way.
They have the whole month of February. Is it Stout Month?
Sounds like a plan
I
with
think
zero
in
drawbacks.
Astoria.
Yeah.
That's where they have the Dark Arts Festival.
Okay.
I believe so. And so that whole month, the whole month of February, I think is Stout Month there.
They're really big. They're big craft beer fans in
Yeah.
Astoria. It's cool. The vibe in the neighborhood. You go to any divey bar and they'll be talking about the brewery down the street.
cool craft
oh,
beer,
you gotta go there next.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. Everybody likes a craft beer.
Nice.
down
That sounds
there.
like a good place.
Yeah, we went down. It was Fort George had a release party for a summer release party for one of their beers, and tickets sold out in about 12 seconds flat because it was a pretty good little. It was a very small festival. Like took up one city block, kind of.
Yeah.
One little park.
It was in Fort George.
It was in Astoria for Fort George Brewing.
Fort George. Okay.
Yeah. And some of us
what
were.
Time of year?
God, what it was summertime. Like I think June or something, like early summer. This was a couple years ago.
That's a cool little town.
This was an old beer when I bought it.
I'm looking at it on the maps right now. It's like on a little peninsula.
Yeah.
So it's kind of waterlocked, but it's not an island. And yeah, it's got a really cool downtown area with bars all along the waterfront.
Yeah. And that's where they filmed most of the Goonies.
Okay.
It was right in there. So and that house is like a museum now. So like, it's cool. Like it's worth a trip. And it's got a lot of stuff going on.
Nice.
They also have a really fantastic farmers market that is several city blocks. Like they close it down, and like you can almost get blisters on your feet walking up and down. The farmers market.
Nice.
It's fantastic. There was Astoria Bowie Brewing has a distillery operation. I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head. I bought some of their American style single malt. It is very smoky and delicious.
The
brewery has a distilling. Yeah, they own a distilling operation as well.
Nice.
They did have a fantastic Bloody Mary mix, and I hate tomatoes. I think I've been on this show more than once talking about how I cannot stand tomatoes, but that shit I'd drink with enough vodka, with jalapeno vodka, which was pretty good.
Ooh, that sounds
you ever had a jalapeno vodka?
No.
I'll tell you what, it's good in the right sphere.
I love jalapenos.
It does not go with lime at all. It doesn't go with a lime seltzer at all.
Jalapeno and a lime seltzer.
But so I drink like chilies fritos, fried chilies with lime all over them all day.
Right.
So
That's good.
like lime seltzer and fucking jalapeno vodka.
But is a lime seltzer really a
not limey enough?
Lime juice?
Really
Is it fake? It's a fake lime.
I don't know.
It might be. It's probably not ascorbic acid.
Do you know what a cool lime is? Have you had those little the freeze dried lime crystals?
I think so.
Oh my God, those are delicious.
Long time ago.
Yeah, you get them on airplanes now. Oh, you can snort them. You can do lines with them. That's a fucking good idea.
It'd be like a rush right there.
Yeah. No, my brain hurts just thinking about it. So maybe not talking about the same thing. So how the hell are you, man? It's been a couple weeks.
I've been doing good. Anything new for me? No, nothing new. I went to North Carolina. Oh, yeah.
On work stuff, yeah.
Yep, last week. Yeah, so we wouldn't have been able to do a podcast last week anyways because I was gone in North Carolina all week. And I visited a couple breweries. No, I visited 0 breweries. I'm sorry. I tried to go to one, and they were closed. The trip was good, but it was just all work, so I had hardly any time. But I did drink some IPA called Pernicious, and don't get me to recall the brewery.
The deets about it,
yeah, but it was good. It's a good hop forward beer. Kind of like a Space Dust or one of these RPMs. Nice one. Not as hazy as an RPM, but still good. What else did I drink? I think that's the only one that's the only one I did drink.
Speaking of IPA, I didn't mention it when we were talking about Mexico last episode, but I did find an IPA down there. It was one of these little it's the smallest bar on the street, and it's half the size of our studio is the whole damn bar. Really? And the signs are dollar beers, right? Like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. Like, there's the gift shop shit, right? That the wife wants to go check out. So I get it, and it's like, oh, we got some craft beer in the cooler
for $1.
Yeah, and then the cooler's tucked underneath the stairs in the back out of the alley kind of thing, just running a extension cord. Like, hey, I got that cooler there, and there was one in there called IPA.
IPA.
Yeah,
and it was by North.
You know this beer.
I do.
Yeah.
There might be a donkey on it.
I think so. Yeah. It was. I got a picture, so I can't find it on my phone right now. But
I was gonna name.
It's a good goddamn beer too.
It was. Yeah. It was like it's by North Baja Brewing, I think.
Yeah,
Baja. I think Baja Brewing.
Yeah, Baja.
Yep.
Fantastic beer.
I was gonna name one of my IPAs IPA.
And somebody beat you to it.
And they already beat me to it. Because I had a bartender down there, and she would be like, ay. And I'd be like, oh my God.
That's hilarious.
She'd always say it. She'd always be like that. It was super cool. I was like, I have to name a beer after her little ay. And no, Bob, it was so, I could have done it if it wasn't another Mexican, fairly close.
Sure. Right? Like, it was like if it was down the fucking road. Yeah.
So if it was East Coast, man, I would have had a blast with it.
Yeah. It's an in-state brewery for where you guys were at.
Yeah. So oh well, but it's a good beer. Yeah. Baja Brewing Company is pretty cool, and they're pretty decent size too.
Nice.
Yeah,
we were in southern Baja, so we couldn't travel. There was a brewery, but it we walked by it and it looked like two benches on the inside, this little it wasn't like even a room, it was more like an alcove, off and off the sidewalk. And of course, it was one of these sidewalks that you have to take 3 oversized steps to get up to the top of the sidewalk, and then there's a fucking long ass ramp that's cracked and busted up to go down, and it's like this weird building on this the edge of a ledge on the hillside or some dumb thing, and it was this little bitty fucking thing up on this platform, this little alcove, and it said fucking brewery on the top. I'm like, that looks like work just to fucking climb up that thing.
You didn't go?
No, we were headed down. We had reservations at the office down at the water. So we're walking downhill. Yep. This is we got to go uphill for that. We're gonna wait for the uphill for an hour after 4 tequilas.
Did you go back?
We didn't. We took a different route. We took we walked a different direction to leave there, so I forgot all about it.
Always happens that way.
Yeah. The office was cool. It was one of these restaurants that started in the 70s was just a shack on the beach and a folding table. And so they still have kind of some inexpensive lawn furniture chairs or whatever that are sinking into the sand while you're eating.
Very
constantly.
Cool.
But the margaritas were good. The shrimp tacos I had were fantastic. Big old huge shrimp.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Got those kind of like prawns almost.
Yeah, and you can see the cruise ship. We're just right on the water, and the cruise ships are pulling in. God, that thing is fucking. If you're sitting on the water level, and that thing is towering above you.
Cruise ships are
Holy
huge.
Crap, they're huge.
Yes, you can get lost on a cruise ship.
Yeah, I can see that. I get lost in my own fucking building.
Yeah.
I haven't read this label for a while. See if there's anything. Imperial.
Anything you missed?
Got this beer, this Dark Star.
Yeah.
Imperial Stout.
Imperial Oatmeal Stout. In a bourbon barrel. Blend of.
This is really chocolatey.
It is. So it says this year's release is a blend of 24, 18, 12, and 8-month bourbon barrel aged Dark Star in a 7 to 12-year-old Kentucky bourbon barrels. Roasted and chocolate malts complement smooth oats to bring you a stout delight wrapped in the gentle embrace of bourbon barrel aged warmth. A touch of sweetness dances in balance with the hops to finish with a whip. God, this is small print or I'm old.
Where's your glasses?
I lost them in Mexico or right before Mexico or something like that. Very cool. Down and dirty 2-row malt, roast barley, crystal 80, chocolate, and carafa 2 with some flaked oats, Willamette, Columbus, and Cascade.
Willamette and Columbus, both.
Yeah.
Wow. It's kind of an interesting. I wonder where they use the Willamette. The Columbus is probably bittering.
What I
imagine.
When I often see we don't get a recipe, but we get a ingredients kind of thing in a brewery. They're often written in the most used item.
Right.
But in hops, they're seen sometimes you see in an order of operations. If you're transcribing and you're looking at the brew log, you see the 60-minute edition before the 30-minute edition before the fucking 10-minute edition before the 5-minute edition. And I don't know that a lot of copywriters will like natively think to shuffle the order in things, because like, you know, I kind of write my grain bills in the same kind of like.
Well, what are the read the grains on there again?
So 2-row, roast
that would
barley,
be the most.
Crystal Lady, chocolate, and Craft.
Roast would be more than Crystal, yep, and you're not going to use mascara.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
Chocolate malt and Craft 2. Yeah. Oh, flaked oats. Yeah,
flaked oats. You're only going to use a little percentage.
It's a small percentage. So, you know, I see those sort of things like, well, I can see what's in this, you know, how this beer might be formulated. But, you know, the other thing with these beers is this is a blend of 4 different barrel vintages of the same beer.
The same beer, yeah.
Yeah, so complexity, I mean, like, you can't clone shit. Like, even if you had the same exact equipment, you're not the brewer who did it. Like, good fucking luck. But then you've got this barrel-aged beautifulness. Like, how is that reacting, and how are, you know, each of those barrels contributing?
Can do something different.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you're never going to get that again, because you're combining all these different barrels that age a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, you about
ready? Well, we're gonna
do
a show. We're gonna do a show. I got a little bit of beer left.
All right.
We might as well do a show. Might as well pay some bills to get a word from our sponsor, Northwest Brewer Supply.
Oh yeah.
I'm biased. It's a great store. I'm biased, but that does not make me wrong. We'll be right back after this.
Beer News with Andrew, where I come and give you international stories, national stories, state, maybe even your local backyard. What up, hopheads? All right, here we go again. You know what? I wanted to say something first. You know, we've had this new music at the beginning of our podcast lately, and that was some music that I created, and I wanted to share that. If you want to go listen to the full song of that, just go to Spotify, iTunes, Apple, wherever you get your podcast, wherever you get this podcast, and type in Mic Check for Brew Talk. You'll see our logo on there, and you'll be able to download and buy it from us. You could buy it. That'd be great. We'd love that. Anyways, Mic Check for Brew Talk. Full song just for you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about who is actually behind these celebrity liquors. And I'm going to go a little bit into a little bit of a deep dive, not too much. And the first one we are looking at today is George Clooney, my doppelganger, Casamigos, or it's more like Casamigos tequila brand. If you really want a little fun fact from Andrew, you can go onto YouTube and search Nescafe Night in shining armor, and it's a commercial about George Clooney, and it looks just like me about 10 years ago. It's pretty funny. Anyways, George Clooney is working with Rand Gerber, and they are also distilling through Productos Finos de Agave in Jalisco, Mexico. So, same distillery that produces several premium agave brands, but the fun fact is this one, Casamigos Tequila, sold to Diageo, I might screw that up, for up to $1 billion. So, yeah, wow. Cool brand. Number 2 up, the Rock Terramana Tequila. He has it. It's all his own. He works with Destilería Terramana de Agave, a dedicated, purpose-built facility in Jesus Maria, Jalisco. Master distiller there is a team from NOM 1613. I don't know if that's NOM 1613 or what, but they use traditional brick ovens and still use copper pot stills. So pretty cool. Third on the list, we've got Ryan Reynolds, Aviation Jim. He's actually a co-owner. It doesn't really say who's the other owner. His distiller is in Portland, though. Holy Spirits Distillery in Portland, Oregon. And it looks like Diageo acquired this brand as well. Matthew McConaughey, Wild Turkey, Long Branch Wild Turkey, from the Wild Turkey Distillery. It's just his own little deal called Wild Turkey Long Branch. And what he does is he uses mesquite charcoal filtration working back to McConaughey's Texas roots. So he does some cool stuff with that. Bob Dylan, Heaven's Door whiskey. Bob Dylan sourced from multiple Tennessee and Midwest distilleries. It sounds like he's a mixer of it. He just blends it. His master blender is Ryan Perry. And a couple notes is they're building their own distillery in Nashville, so that's kind of cool. Good for Ryan, working with Bob Dylan on that project. Drake, speaking of working on some projects, he's doing Virginia Black Whiskey. It's a sourced bourbon from MGP in Indiana, and Brent Hawking is a co-founder, and he's also co-founder of De Leon Tequila. So it's going to give you like high rye and high corn blend flavors on that one. Justin Timberlake, Salsa Tequila, Jay-Z, Duesse Cognac, Danny DeVito, Premium Limoncello. Oh, that sounds good. Kendall Jenner, of course, 818 Tequila. Post Malone. He needs like a Saison. That would be cool. But he's got some kind of a Maison thing going on. Anyways, so the next time you see a celebrity grinning on a bottle, just remember, behind every famous face is a real distiller doing the heavy lifting. The stars bright in the spotlight. Bring it out to folks.
Welcome back to the Beercraft Homebrewing Podcast. Tonight we're talking about the homebrew myths that refuse to die. Some more of them. We've done a show on homebrew myths, but these are a couple of more of them we didn't get to. Yeah.
All right.
Working in the store, I think half of my job is parsing some of these things out for, sometimes they're myths, sometimes they're just misunderstandings of whatever you read or saw or video you watched.
Right.
I try to explain to students in my class, like, hey, you're going to get started. You're going to see a bit of content on the online that comes from page 1 of a book, some that comes from page 42. You're going to go back to 13 and then skip to 147, and it's going to be a little rough to piece it all together in a way that is going to be meaningful for your beer. So congratulations, you're in the right place. We're going to put it all together in the right order for you. So that can be difficult for the average human, just sort of clicking around and seeing what interests them in getting started with homebrew.
Right.
And some of these myths, they're kind of in there too. You're going to see these things sprinkled in.
So what is this thing, a myth?
So number one, the biggest myth I see, that lagers are harder to brew. I hear this one a lot. I still see it in print. I still see it online in videos. And I have to say bullshit on that. It's not that it's harder.
It's not that it's harder.
Brew day didn't change. Period.
It has a couple of steps added.
What? Like, let's see.
You have to pay attention a little more.
I think you pay attention the exact same way.
I don't think you got your diacetyl rest.
Which is no more complicated than a dry hop.
No.
Right? And so we're not saying IPAs are harder than anything else. We're saying lagers are harder. I think this myth comes from the fact that we have less bold flavors to hide our mistakes.
Aha.
Right? And I'm not saying
not
lager.
Much hop.
Well, I think the quality of your boil is a big one that comes through in this. Like if you're not fully getting rid of DMS, or you're using an underbonified malt that has a higher amount of the precursor SMS, and you're not doing a 90-minute boil, like it's going
to come through your cleaner beer.
That doesn't make it harder. It just means if your boil is not a full boil, and it doesn't have to be like the big violent thing, but if you're just a simmer, you're not driving off enough DMS.
Right.
That's not hard. It's just kind of you can do that on any beer. You can do that on a fully modified pale ale.
Each of your brews.
Absolutely.
If you don't do it
So
right.
lagers don't make that harder. I think lagers, because there's less bold flavors, those errors that you could be making in your brew house.
Maybe the time frame makes people think that it's harder.
I don't know that this is a time frame. I think it is literally that you have less flavors to hide behind, to hide your mistakes behind. Like hops, if you throw a pound of hops at a beer, Like, it's hard to tell that maybe there's a little DMS in there, or
a little
maybe a little cabbage, like acetaldehyde is blended. Like, your taste buds are fucking gone. They're nuclear, a nuclear bomb went out in your mouth. The Lupomax 5000 just detonated clear across your palate hole.
And it blew up all of the flaws in your beer. You
right? Like, I liken it to, Finnish carpenters hide their sins behind trim.
Yep.
Painter, everybody else uses
Finnish carpenters hide carpenters' sins behind trim.
Right. Other carpenters' sins behind trim.
They're the fixers.
Yeah. The when you've got a pound of hops to throw at it, or you've got a bunch of chocolate malt or big bold fucking flavors. Andrew's over here drinking over an empty bottle. It's so good. He's got half a beer left, and he's like, getting the last dribbles out of
just
that
grabbing the bottle. That's hilarious.
I don't blame him. So that's what I think. That's why
you think it's
lagers.
Harder to brew a lager.
The timelines can look intimidating.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make like waiting for your beer is harder the longer you have to wait.
Very hard.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that one. But I don't think that necessarily makes it harder.
Right. Now the second one here we're going to talk about, I kind of experienced this in my very early days of brewing.
Mm-hmm.
That is extract. Is extract inferior to all grain brewing? I used to think.
Yeah,
I used to think so.
I did too.
I used to be like, oh, this is what I get. The flavors I get, maybe a little more sweeter, cloying flavor, or just a little bit of a different flavor to it.
Yeah, I mean, like in the early days, I probably thought the same. I definitely did think the same thing. What you have to like be a little realistic with. If you went into brewing with extract, you did a couple batches, and you jumped, and then you migrated to all grain. Your brewing experience, I went very short, like 3 beers in extract, all grain, and the rest. Maybe you took a year in extract and the rest into all grain. Something like your trajectory, you were learning the whole time.
Yes.
And so like the later beers all, by and large, generally just get better. It's not so the quality of your beer is a function of your time in the hobby, not a function of the ingredients used. That being said, there is kind of like, you might see an extract this kind of like twang, and what that is older extracts.
Older, huh? Ooh.
Right? So oxidative effects of the extract due to, it's on the packaging line. There's things that are happening to this beer. It is processed. They took wort and they evaporated a lot of liquid to give us liquid malt extract. By blowing air over it. So there's some like oxidation like happening. And I think the freshness factor.
Yeah, you can think back to how extract was delivered to the homebrew stores. And it was a lot of times back in the past, the extract was delivered in large barrels.
Right, and you'd slap a spout on that.
Slap a little spigot.
And you'd bring your empty jug in there, and you'd get $2 off your extract or whatever.
55 gallons lasted.
Or it's like a 30-gallon bit. Yeah. Like,
how many,
you do 30-gallon ones too, but like
how many weeks in the homebrew store?
Oh, and if it was because if it was the amber malt extract or the dark malt extract, and you had 30 gallons of it, you had 30 gallons of it for years. So if it was not a huge, like if you're buying from a shop that is maybe not doing the high volume
turnover,
you can see some freshness stuff. So that's kind of the reason we switched to like the prepackaged stuff. Like it's right at the factory, sealed up, It doesn't get opened again until you take it home with you.
No oxygen in it. Yes.
What I also noticed about that kind of like twanginess though of extract is if you are patient, if you age your beer a little bit longer, say 2 weeks longer than bottle condition for 4 weeks before you drink it, some of those flavors fuck off. Like,
see, that's what I'm always saying. 5 weeks is the perfect beer. That's what I've learned. 5 weeks.
You can't rush this shit.
It's hard.
This hobby is daily teaching you patience.
That's right.
And most of us have been shitty students on that front. And that's okay. We're human. Welcome to the party, pal. But my God, when a beer has fully matured,
it's so good.
Even at like the lowliest pale ale or whatever, like oh shit, those flavors are popping.
Right.
Fresh.
You get to that beer like late on in the keg pour.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this beer
fun.
is
It's
really
so
good.
good.
Man. You're
You know,
like,
that's
and you're
usually-
expecting more. It's like,
it's
that
usually
was the last one.
Yeah, that's usually a sign you have 2 pints or less. Like by the time it gets fucking good. Like, shit.
Well, that just means you got to brew more.
Got to brew more. The cure is brew more.
Yeah.
I also switched to just like 10 psi carbonation for that reason. It adds a week to my production timeline. You know, like I can rush it and I can carbonate overnight. I can do it over the weekend if I, 1 day, 3 day. You can hasten carbonation, but you cannot hasten maturation.
No, you cannot.
Period.
And maturation has some to do with the carbonation levels and how the carbonation is in that volume.
One of the things,
it ages in there and makes it better.
One of the things I recently came across in my carbonation kind of answering those questions repeatedly at the shop. One of them was getting the bubbles in the beer is one half of the equation.
Yep.
The other half is the formation of carbonic acid, which means that the carbon dioxide dissolved in solution, no matter how fast it got there, has to be in contact with water molecules long enough for them to hydrate, which means they combine with H2O molecules and form carbonic acid. So overnight carbonation or through a centered stones, kind of like speed carbonation, gets bubbles in there.
Forced carbonation.
The rapid force carbonation.
But they disappear.
They are not.
They'll dissipate.
They don't. They more than they dissipate. They don't have the qualities you're expecting. That carbonic acid is another flavor layer that is added to your beer.
Yes, it is.
It also is the effect that like prickles your tongue. You can feel all those bubbles pop. Like that's carbonic acid at work, and that's the thing. That's the thing I crave. Like when I quit drinking beer for a bit, like for health purposes, I took a year off. I missed the bubbles. Like I had to have bubbles, and that carbonic acid was the motherfucking thing that did it for me.
Right. If you don't drink beer, I mean, you probably are going to be craving like a seltzer water, something with highly carbonated, something.
Yeah. Oh, so here's a myth that's not on our list. Like this whole carbonation topic, like kegging is faster than bottle. Kegging is faster than bottling on
day.
packaging day.
Yes.
It's faster. But the quality impacts of kegging versus bottling is the same if you include carbonic acid development. That takes time.
Yes.
Period.
Yep.
You can get to, like in a bottle, you've got 3 phases you're worried about. The yeast have to eat the sugars, burp it out, and then the burped CO2 has to dissolve into solution, and then the formation of carbonic acid takes about 2 weeks. And then you put it in a keg, and it takes about, you can get the gas dissolved in the solution really, really quickly. Just turn up the fucking gas. But it takes about 2 weeks to hydrate those and create carbonic acid. So it's really just so the myth is
forced carbonate, and then I'm like pouring my beer, and I'm like, where did the carbonation go in this beer? I'm halfway through, and it's almost flat.
So we're using a nitro on those?
No. That's when I forced carbonated.
Oh, they just kind of take, So
I like roll my keg around, force carbonate, and then immediately after that I'll pour a beer.
Yeah.
And
so
then,
there's this kind of
goes away.
There's a quality difference to the foam that you get on a young forced carbonated beer versus a seasoned beer. Like the properly matured beer, that foam cap is custardy thick and lasting, and it sticks to your lips as you're doing it. It's rocky. The little itty bitty bubbles.
Tiny.
And it's not a function of the sugar used.
Yeah.
You'll see that one. There's another myth, if you use DME, you'll have finer bubbles than dextrose. Bullshit. I'm going to say bullshit on that one. That is literally just time in situ. Will produce the same results. Lots of myth just around carbonation, my friends. Just right there.
Patience.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's the reason I put my beer. I put my beers at 10 psi and I walk away. I just leave them alone for a week. Make an extra beer a year. If you're worried about running out of beer, just make more beer. Add another day to your brewing calendar.
Yep.
And don't worry about it. Because the reward is, instead of 2 pints of perfect beer out of every batch, you get 5 fucking gallons of perfect beer out of every batch. And goddamn, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Now, do you carry a carbonator?
one of like the speed carbonators.
It's like a pump. It's a pump, and it pumps. You hook it right to your keg.
I have had some keg lid with like a centered stone. They have an extra gas port with a centered stone, and like basically you start at a low psi, and like every hour you increase 1 psi, and yeah, it'll carbonate faster. I have also done the burst carbonation, like Brewlosophy method, burst carbonation 50 psi for 24 hours. I have done the 30 psi for 3 days. I've done 30 psi for 2 days. Drop the pressure to 10 psi, leaving 30 pounds on the head. For the next day, I've done a lot of different speed carbonation trials. The quality of the beer that I get out of it is best the longer I take.
Right. It's better with patience, always. Yeah. Always better. Yeah. I was trying to look up that pump that I was going to use. I do not see it. I had one.
Blickman's got a speed carbonation.
Hey, Blickman?
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be Blickman.
I have not played with that one.
That one works really well. I really loved it. Golly, we're gonna have to talk about that on another show. Here it is. Yeah, Blickman Engineering. Looks like they're about $250, and yep, it has a pump and a stone.
Right.
And the stone is inside a little fitting, and you just pump the CO2 right there.
You run your beer through that.
It's pumping. Yep.
Yeah. And so it takes out of your keg through this centered stone apparatus and back into the keg.
Yep, back in the keg. It takes
and it's
40 minutes.
Yeah, you have lots of CO2 in contact with a small amount of beer, and ultimately you still have to let it sit.
Yeah, you do.
So whatever you do, you are stuck there. So that's a lot of time on carbonation myths. Well, that was like
good, though.
We started with extract and we ended up in carbonation.
Right.
Interesting segue. Like you never know what's gonna happen on this show. Welcome to the party, pal.
Exactly.
Next myth. Oh my gosh, I see this one all the time, and this one's tough for me. This one's tough for me as a retailer.
Yeah.
As someone who feeds my family on the proceeds of my efforts to sell beer ingredients and gear to the average brewer, that you need a ton of expensive equipment to make good beer.
You sure do.
So I am the retailer, and I do make money off this, but I'm gonna tell you straight up, you do not need expensive gear to make quality fucking beer.
No?
Hell no.
Wait a minute here.
Hell no.
How many times have we talked about equipment on this show?
Equipment doesn't make a better brewer.
Nope.
Equipment doesn't make a better beer.
Experience.
100% experience.
Okay.
Make more fucking beer. If you're worried about, you want to make better beer, make more beer. Any problem you have in your brew house can be solved by making more beer. Period.
Because you learn. You learn patience.
There's a lot of ingenious ways to separate you from your money in any space, in any sector that you can imagine.
Right.
Every hobby has the shiny, like the big brands. Like if you're a golfer, like Callaway and you got like the big spendy shit, but it doesn't make you a better golfer.
Yeah, I can buy this carbonator pump from Blickman, or from you if you carry it. I can buy it. It's gonna make my life maybe a little bit easier. I'm gonna have to wait about as much, but it's just another piece of fancier equipment. I can get that by putting my ball lock onto my keg and letting it sit for a couple days at 10.
Sure. You can end up in the same spot.
Yes,
for no
exact same spot.
So some of this like expensive gear, especially like you got these like countertop like electric brew systems. Like Pico Brew was one. There was another all-in-one electric system. Both of those have gone out of business. I'm real fucking shocked about. Because it's all the fun of pushing buttons. What did you learn about beer? What did you enjoy about the process? Yeah, like you didn't get 5 gallons either.
Right. That's hard.
So some of this expensive gear like smooths out a few wrinkles that can crop up during brew day.
You know where expensive equipment comes into play? when I want to impress my beer buddies. and I'm brewing, and I'm like, hey, did you
Look
see
at my
this?
fucking shiny shit. Yeah. Right.
And they
right.
get jealous. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of dopamine in that shit. Like every hobby has like the gear acquisition phase.
Yeah.
And there's like big dopamine hits. Like, oh my God, this is amazing. I got the new shiny fucking thing.
Yeah, I remember shopping for equipment, researching, Craigslisting, emailing, calling. I need that. I want that. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like Charlie P's drilled bucket mash tun still makes fucking good beer.
Yes.
Like bucket fermenters still make good beer. Rudimentary kit still makes there's a lot of way. Like the brew day has a lot of things going on. We simplify into like a order of operations process, but this whole thing is like process driven. Every input that we give to our brew kettle results in a change in 5 different outputs on brewed for the resulting beer. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of moving pieces you don't fully understand when you're getting started, but it's not the gear that's going to fix that, man. It's make more beer.
Make more beer.
Make more fucking beer.
More beer.
Make more beer.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, we talked about extract, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now, what about a secondary fermenter? Do I need one of those?
So this one has been kind of, it's still out there though. Like it depends on where I see, people coming from. Are they, what generation are they in? I think for the brewers that are the younger brewers getting started today, they have access to even more information. And I think they are coming to like, well, I don't need a secondary fermenter. I've seen that in 20 different places, but maybe some older generation gets their information, from a lot of print, or they found a dusty book in the at the library and they started reading it, and they're reading books. This is fucking awesome.
Hey,
I love
this says have a secondary.
These are my people. I like to write, so so having the fact that there's readers still out there is pretty fucking good. So, do I need a secondary fermenter? No. How about that?
No.
That's my firmly held belief.
You don't need one.
You don't. Personally, I think the benefits outweigh, or the risks outweigh the potential benefits.
Okay.
That being said,
so introducing more chances to get bad stuff in my beer if I don't clean it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oxidation.
If I just put it in my keg,
infection. Yeah.
I'm a kegging guy. I don't need secondary. Take it right in my fermenter. Let it make sure it's all pretty much done fermenting, and then pull it out and put it in my keg, and maybe I'll let it sit in my keg for a minute, pull my first beer off it, and then carbonate it.
Yeah. I think the number of times you open your fermenter in the small scale landscape, the more opportunities you have for dust to fall in.
Never open your fermenter.
Yeah.
Until it's ready. Until you're ready to
take. Absolutely have. You have to get it out there at some point.
Liquid out. Yeah.
And so every time you do that, it's a vector for potential infection.
Don't peek in.
Period.
Don't peek into it.
So the potential benefits of a secondary, like if it's your only, like if you only have one big bucket for a primary fermenter and then a 5-gallon carboy, like you can make. I have no problem saying, yeah, go ahead and transfer that to secondary so you can start another batch, because at the end of the day, you can drink it faster than you can make it. So you might as well get started on batch 2 while you're still waiting halfway through batch 1. It's an excellent strategy when you're getting started. But I think on the longer timeline, you will end up with a second primary fermenter, and not having to open it up will be fine.
Yes.
I with the, one of the arguments that, one of my cohorts had was that it's a little easier to clean at 2 weeks than it is at 4 weeks in terms of the scum line.
Yeah.
But I think with modern, the like PBW and Be Bright, these cleaners doing them, or Craftmeister, they do such a fucking killer job. I don't have to do any work, and that shit comes off, and I rinse it off. I'm done.
Good.
So I don't think that's it's not a real benefit for me. I do think though that some of that comes down to like, there's like there's the old school way and there's kind of the new school way. Like the quality of the ingredients in the 50 years of home brewing legalization, like 1976, or we're coming up on, that's like 50 years, man.
the quality of ingredients, the availability of those things has changed dramatically. Some of these processes come back from a time when the quality
we didn't know
wasn't
how to process it.
We could get what we could get,
processing and packaging,
and we built a program or a process in our brew day to mitigate for the differences in quality of the products that we got. Well, nowadays we're getting the freshest of the fresh. Like home brewers are the most spoiled creatures on the planet in terms of like hop freshness.
Sounds great.
Like being able to
that.
like get exactly 2 ounces of Nitro Pack Centennial in this crop year or last year's crop year, whereas the brewery down your road is working on the year before's delivery of Centennial, and that bag's been open for 3 fucking batches, been oxidized the whole goddamn time. So those things make a difference. We know that. Homebrewers, we get the freshest of the freshies, which is pretty fucking cool.
Speaking of hops, the more hops, the better.
I used to fall into that one. I got hooked on this. I got hooked on beer. Like the Arrogant Bastard and Stone IPA. Like
those are punching in the face, man.
The Sierra Nevada. We talk about that one a lot.
Yep.
Rocked my world, and those are hop forward and more bitter than anything that was out there.
Oh yeah.
And it blew my mind.
Like it.
Blew my mind. Blew my taste buds out of the back of my head. And I still love them.
Yeah.
But there's 100 other beer styles.
There is.
And all of I think they're all good. I think they are
all of them use hops.
They're all delicious too.
All of them use hops. So hops is a balance of whatever style you're going to be using or you're going to be brewing.
Right.
So more hops doesn't mean better beer. And like we were saying earlier, that the more hops that are in it, they can hide some of the flaws. The lager is a more difficult because you throw hops at it. And
the whole balance of the hop.
Yeah, doesn't make it better. You need to consider hops as a balancing agent to your sweetness, wherever you want your final gravity and your final flavor to be.
Yeah. How loud do you want to balance that bitterness?
Right, like with this stout that we're drinking, you can't over hop it because I want that barrel age to come through.
You don't want to hide all those nuances, those lovely little flavors. I've done like the same base malt grain bill at like a couple different hot, like a pale ale ratio and a 65 IBU, and then we pushed one to like 100. And boy, how do all those beers drink very differently.
Yeah.
There was, at 65 IBUs, we were skirting we're into the deep end. It was good, but it was just right on
65,
that. Right on the
really
edge there for that particular malt bill.
Right.
That worked in our pale ale at 35.
Because you're going to have that pale ale, and then if you're going to throw a lot of hops into it, I mean, are you trying to make like a triple IPA at that point?
Right.
Then you don't have enough. Then you don't have enough sweetness to balance it out, so you're only getting this bitter, like.
We were thinking, so we know that like pale ales, IPAs, and double IPAs, triple IPAs, quadruple, all those are like cousins. They're on the same like. If you were to if you were to draw the family tree of beer, pales and IPAs are on the same.
Same branch.
Main branch.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of similarity, like the grain bill components, the grains we're going to use.
Very similar.
Very similar across the board.
Percentages.
Yeah, exactly. Different amounts. So we have high, stronger beers. As we go up in IBUs, we usually go up in ABVs as well.
And because you need to balance out the bitterness of that hop. And
so our thinking was like, well, what is, like, we use the same grain bill, like, how much similarity are we talking? Like, if we take the same grain bill to 35, 65, and 95 or something dumb like that, what does that do? And it's like, Jesus, it does a lot. It was crazy. The 95 IBU was like undrinkable.
Yeah, it's almost like a barley wine that is not aged and you just can't drink it.
Right. Rough stuff. It was like, it had all the bitterness. You couldn't find the late additions because your tongue was still fucked up from all the other IBUs. So I didn't enjoy that. The 65 was just past I really love this. The 35 was a fine pale, but it didn't hit the way Sierra Nevada I remembered hitting.
Yeah. Sierra Nevada's probably 35, yeah.
Yeah.
Ish.
But it's like, it's a very crisp 30.
Yeah.
Like it stands out, and it'll stand up and slap you in the face with a bitterness profile that I had never seen in 1992, whatever that I. Now, the first time I had it, so I was in college, and I think I was 20 or 21, so 98, 99 back then. Yeah.
Your first craft beer, 98?
My first, it was, because I was we were in college. Our refrigerator glowed blue from the amount of Bud Light.
Bud Light, yeah. Oh, yeah. We drank a lot of that.
Fucking 18 packs for $12 or some dumb thing like that.
Henry Weinhardt's.
Weinhardt's Blue
Weinhardt's, does that count as craft beer? Because I was drinking that in 1989.
Well, I would say probably if you take the current definition of craft, like single owner,
private reserve, and Blue Boar,
or dual owner, like not conglomerate owned, and like I think you're allowed like 6 million barrels a year of annual production and still be labeled craft. That's like a moving target too. Like I think Weinhardt's would still qualify.
Yeah, I used to buy that when I was 20 years old. I'd go to the liquor store and buy a 12-pack for $4.99.
Oh my God!
In the box, 12-pack of bottles in the box.
I drank a lot, so I was drinking a lot of Henrys.
They didn't even card me in this little liquor store.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I look old as fuck.
Super cool. Oh no, I didn't look old. No way.
They just don't care.
I have a baby face.
I drank a lot of Henrys. Blue Boar, Private Reserve. Those were fucking great.
And there's
beers.
one more.
I don't remember the name. I was trying to think of that the other day. I could not come up with it.
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Loved those beers.
The internet.
Really great.
Yeah.
And then Sierra Nevada like blew my face up. And like Blue Boar was my favorite. And it was like the more bitter
the more
version.
Bitter. Yep.
Yeah. And then Pale Ale, the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Then that came out.
Ah, my God. Like I was late to that party. I felt, but I didn't care.
Doesn't matter. You're here now.
No, here now.
All right.
What are you talking about?
So we've got another myth here. If my airlock is not bubbling, man, this ain't fermenting at all. What is going on here?
Oh, this one I get all the time. Oh my God. The counter to this one.
So that's how I know it's fermenting. I look at my bubbles.
The counting bubbles. Counting
my bubbles
doesn't mean shit. All right. So there's 4 reasons your airlock stops bubbling. And really only one of them is fucking good.
Oh, no.
In most of the time, the airlock will stop bubbling because all of the yeast converted all of the sugar into ethanol, and
everybody's happy.
Night land,
everybody's eating dinner and put to bed.
So the literature says leave this alone till the bubbles slow down to X amount of bubbles per minute or some dumb.
There's like one every 3 seconds.
Some dumb number. And I think it's all made up every time somebody writes it. But here's the thing. So being done is one state you can be in. If it gets too cold and the yeast go to bed, it will stop bubbling.
It will stop, yep.
If the yeast are malnourished and they're struggling and slowing down or going to bed, they're going to stop bubbling. Stalled completely. All of these things signal bad stuff. The one more.
One more
is your bucket has a leak.
I'm not sealed. I didn't push it all the way down.
If
those lids on those buckets can be a hard one to
some buckets are kind of a pain in the, especially the older buckets.
Yeah, I'm like scared. I got this thing full. I'm like, do I really have to push this hard to get this down?
I get a lot of guys who are like, I grabbed a rubber mallet. I'm like, whoa, don't do that. Because that's going to crack it. Yeah.
Now you're really going to have a leak.
So I tell people in class all the time, check your, especially a new bucket, a brand new bucket is going to be the most resistant to your activities. But I advise people to, once you get the lid on, get horizontal to your lid, look at it. We're pretty good at spotting one corner or one edge of it is just a little bit, right? We have 2 eyes,
it's not going to be
and we can
even.
spot level pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Just by eyesight. And so if you see one little lip that's raised, well, that lip represents a leak, and that leak is
the air's going out.
That is the path of least resistance. The little bell in your airlock or the double bubbler, you have to have positive gas pressure to overcome gravity of the bell, right? The weight of the bell. Yep. Or the bubble. You have to send a bubble underwater into one chamber to flow up into the second chamber in a double bubble.
Hydraulic pressure.
It's called
hydraulic pressure.
Yeah. You have to have a little bit.
It takes to force air through water.
Yeah. It doesn't want to. It floats, bitch. It doesn't want to go there. So
it will though.
So if it requires positive pressure to do that, and you have a leak, then all of the gas is going to go through the leak, and your airlock won't fucking budge. So I get that one all the time. That's probably the number one call I get at this shop.
Ben, it's not fermenting.
What's wrong with this shit you sold me? And then my next question is, do you see foam on the top of your, the surface of your fermenter, like through the bucket? Do you see like a shadow line of foam? It's like, yeah. Well, you can't have foam and airlock, no bubbles through the airlock without a leak. You can't have both of those things at the same time without a leak.
Exactly.
So I guarantee you, it's
one or the other.
So go check your bucket lid. You're gonna be fine. So that is a very inaccurate way to tell what's going on in your fermenter.
See if it's done. If you notice, I can watch my fermentation over the course of a few days, and I can see it ramp up, and I can see it come down, and I can see my bubbles starting to ding, 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 ding.
See all the turbidity in your water.
And at that point, over a couple of days, when I come home every day from work and I look at it and inspect it, and the bubbles are getting less and less. Mm-hmm. Now, when I know that no more bubbles, or this one every 10 seconds.
But if your furnace went out, the house got fucking cold.
Right, but I'm watching this. This is my baby. I have it 5 days. I'm doing this 5 days, so it can signal that I'm done.
And the way and what to do about it is to confirm with your hydrometer. That is the only thing that is the device that speaks yeast. Right?
Yep.
What is your ferment doing? The first when I get a call at the shop about a problem with a beer, whatever that thing is, my first question is, what does your hydrometer say? And almost 100%. It is almost 100%.
It says
callers are their answer is I don't know.
Oh,
because they haven't taken it yet. Because they haven't taken it yet. Yeah. And that's okay.
They're like worried about it.
They have to call you. They're naturally worried about it. Yeah.
That's what you're here for.
Tell them and then so go take a reading and call me back.
So glad you're here for them.
Yeah. I feel it too.
Good. They do too. I know they appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. How much we got left here, man? We've got
a couple of things here in the back.
We've got a couple things left to talk about, and we're almost wrapping this up.
We got time for one more?
Probably.
Okay. You need to follow here's a myth, you need to follow the recipe exactly.
We have designed how many beers on the show?
We did like a 5-run series of them, and I should bring one of those in. The legend is done. I'll bring that in next time.
Oh, good.
As far as following a recipe exactly, I'm a little torn on this one, because on one hand I'm teaching new brewers and I'm saying find a recipe from a good source, because somebody's done the heavy lifting for you.
Yep.
You don't have to invent the wheel on day one.
Right.
You can follow a vetted recipe that has a
brew it
reasonable chance of success. If you follow these steps, you can have good beer, great beer even. But at the same time, I'm also but take good notes, because if your 10-minute edition becomes a 5-minute edition because you were in the can, you better write that down, because that could be the difference between mediocrity and that could be the thing that made that beer better for you.
You never know.
And
that's why you take notes on every single brew.
You will never be able to repeat it to confirm that information.
Yes.
Motherfucking, that's a whole deal.
So and do your timelines. When you take your notes, you write your recipe, you write your timeline of when you're doing everything.
Yeah, my all grain logs, I've got my dough in time, I've got my mash out times, I've got a time for damn near everything I do, just so I can I'm keeping myself honest.
A lot of your conversions come under time, so
my biggest thing is I want to take my brain out of the equation, because if I'm comfortable in brewing, I'm going to get complacent in process, and that's when I'm going to make mistakes.
Right.
By writing it down, not only do I chart the error ratio that could be in the better beer, but I'm keeping myself honest on brew day, and I'm following and hitting the beats that I need to hit.
That's right.
And I think
documenting it the whole way through, so you know.
So there you go. The music tells me that that is the hour of our program.
That's it
today.
Went quick. With
It
all
did
these
go quick. I think the ultimate lesson is get out there, make more beer, and don't be afraid to make little mistakes.
Have patience.
I think ultimately don't be afraid.
Drink more beer too.
That helps. And with that, I think I have to go find some beer.
Right.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. I think next time we talk, we're going to have Greg Spohr from Terramar Brewing here in Burlington, in Bow, which is just our neighbor across the flats there. He's going to be in the studio. We're going to be talking about some cool stuff with Greg from Terramar. Next week, we also have a tequila show with the Agave Elite Experience in Los Cabos. That is in production. Coming soon.
I like tequila.
So, stay thirsty, my friends.
Stay thirsty.
And make more beer.
All right. I will. Cheers out.
Peace out.